Hey everybody, it's Amanda again. It's time for the second part of the Q&A for Patreon for May 2019. I just want to say first, we're expecting I'm not in Oklahoma, but they're expecting really strong tornadoes in Oklahoma today. So I'm just asking for anyone who feels called to help downgrade those or dissolve them or make sure they don't go in a path where any people are. Because even my brother even told me that they closed the schools in Oklahoma City today because the threat is so high for large tornadoes today. So if you feel called, I've been trying to dissolve them or reduce the intensity of them. Every little bit helps, right? All right, so we didn't get through all the questions last time. And there are a lot of good ones. You know what? I just realized I'm going to start with one of my questions because I don't know about you guys, but time is flying. I mean, I am losing months instead of days. So my first question is going to be, what's the deal with time? I mean, you know, we understand that time is speeding up, but why is it going even faster and faster? I am trying to move something here and it is arguing with me. I'm trying to get it so I can see both screens. I guess I moved it too far. All right, so time. What's the deal with time? What's going on with time right now? Why does it seem to go so incredibly fast right now? I'm losing. I mean, I know I've gone through it all, but I just can't believe it's the end of May already. Anyway, let me see what they say. You can take some deep breaths with me if you want. You are experiencing in the vastness of your understanding of all that is, the point that some call the now moment. In the now moment, is everything, all time. And so you are getting closer to your true being, your true essence, which is in that space of the now moment, for lack of a better term. So when you are in that space, outside of this experience, you can simply turn your focus. But in this experience, it is focused through linear time. From outside of this experience, you can look back and you can look forward and you can look at now. In any order. In your experience, you can only look backward or now. However, as you integrate your true selves, you are experiencing more of these feelings of all time being at the same time, so to speak. So your now becomes everything. So we would say when you look back, it can seem fuzzy or foggy or these feelings of not knowing how it happened so fast because your focus is shifting. And you may have had glimpses of or feelings of knowing that soon you will be able to focus into the future. And it will seem like a memory, just as the memory of the past is a memory to you. We would say, do not focus too much on the aspect of time itself. Use your internal guidance, your intuition, and just know that you will feel guided, or you may not feel guided. You will be in the right place at the right time to do what you intend to do from a higher level. And we would say also, enjoy this feeling of speed. Enjoy this feeling of time, because you cannot fully experience it outside of this experience, or from a higher ascension point, you cannot feel this feeling of time. Always interesting. Okay. Question. My clairaudience is coming online. Can you explain what's going on inside to make this happen, and what can we expect with this in the near future? Going on to cause the clairaudience. That means you can hear, I think. Yes, we can see this coming online with many. It is accelerating. And we would say the change comes from knowing, from having more information about how we were going to say how things actually work. We would say how things actually work here, and integrating that with how things work at a higher frequency or vibration. So as your knowledge increases, your ability to tap into those things that you have more of an understanding about increases. So for you, it is clairaudience. For others, it may be clairsentience, or any number of phenomenon. And we would say, do not focus too much on what is going on internally, but focus on whether or not it feels good to expand this new ability. And if you enjoy this new ability, then focus on expanding that and be in joy surrounding that. There will be many gifts, many new understandings that come in. And we would simply say, instead of thinking too hard about how they develop, you could spend more thought and feeling processes on using those gifts, practicing those gifts, and expanding those gifts, if it is what you enjoy. I was trying to see if I could get some kind of scientific explanation, like a DNA upgrade or crystalline something or other, but I'm not getting the feeling that they want to explain any of that in that kind of detail. I don't know why, because I love all that stuff. So I don't think it's because I don't have the information to explain it. I think it's just they don't want us, or maybe they don't want you to focus on that. I don't know. Something about that. Okay, question. Feels like we've come to the end of a huge cycle. The Mayan New Year starts in the end of July. Can you explain what is happening in the cycle we're in and where we're heading and what to expect energetically? Huge cycle. All right, so are we at the end of a huge cycle and starting a new cycle? Excuse me. Many are experiencing a new next step. This is a transition phase that you're in currently. You're in it. You're transitioning from a previous state of questioning what it is really all about and exploring using your feeling capabilities to understand rather than your mental capabilities to understand. So you've been in a phase of shifting from the mind to the intuition or the heart, you would say, and you are moving into a phase of not only understanding how to live from this perspective and make decisions from your internal guidance, but also integrating what you would call higher aspects of yourself, higher dimensional frequencies of yourself into your awareness. So you are sorry, I'm hearing noise. You are becoming essentially a higher aspect of yourself in this next cycle or phase. It will be a big change from the beginning of the last cycle to the end of the next cycle. You will essentially be a different person because you will have such a different perspective on everything. you will look back at the previous cycle and wonder how you could have been that person, how you could have formed those ideas, because your understanding will be from a higher perspective. Mouth is really dry. Okay. What's the percentage of people awake currently? Awake. So let's define awake first. I was watching a video by Daniel Scranton that I think he posted yesterday. And he was talking about awake being where your thoughts are coming from the heart rather than your mind. And it not being the the thing that gets a lot of people to wake up is finding out all this information about corruption and the dark ones or whatever. But he was saying to him, being awake was understanding that it was like an understanding of not being against anything, but expanding the light in yourself and coming from a position of the heart and compassion. Kind of. I don't know. Go watch his video. It's good. It's interesting. So I'm going to go with that. So what's the percentage of people awake right now? What's the percentage of people living from the heart? Oh, and another thing he said is it's not necessarily people who understand, have any knowing about channeling or galactics or aliens or any of the corruption or anything, but really live from the heart. And I know some people like that. They are so giving and they do so much for the communities and things, but they don't know anything about awakening or anything about that or progression of consciousness or anything like that. So he considers those people awakened too. So so what's the percentage of people who are awake? I'm trying to get him to show me like an image of the globe as a pie chart so I can see. They're just giving it to me like this. They're saying 77% of the people of Earth have the drive and the desire to live from the heart right now. And I think with this next cycle or this next phase, they'll be able to see how to do that. So that's a pretty high percentage. And if the cycle does start in, can't remember whether you said June or July, if it does start this summer and people are really wanting to live from the heart, so they're looking in their communities and in their churches and in their schools and in their groups and in their friends, if they're looking for ways to live more heart-centered, Wow, I think that'll be easy for them to figure out how to do. So maybe this next cycle will really accelerate everyone and really shift the perspective on our whole planet to make some big changes. Some really good, beautiful changes. Let me see. Do I have anything to say on that? Yes, the changes will come. It does not matter how soon or how fast. It is already done from our perspective. So you could focus on two things: ways to help those seeking to learn how to live from the heart, because you know how to do that now. You can be an example. That is the second way. Your knowledge and your example. When you show others compassion and understanding, they are more likely to show it to others. And it is what you call a chain reaction, only it is an exponential chain reaction. And so the next cycle will be a hyper accelerated cycle. And it will be a highly integrative cycle, as we said earlier, where your entire being will shift. We do not mean you will magically turn into a light being. However, you will feel in your soul much lighter, calmer, more peaceful. And all will be well. And we think you will like this, as we will as well. That sounds good. I did feel a lot lighter while they were talking about that. But I'm still in the linear time thing, so I'm seeing it like in the future. And it's hard when you're channeling people, beings who don't have a time perspective, and then trying to figure out yourself what time period you're looking at. So I think that's why we get times wrong, because like we have linear time, but they're like, linear time's not a big thing. We just focus, wherever we want. So yeah, I can't get any. I don't know how long is the cycle supposed to be, Mark? I don't know. Um, Comment on this if you know. I don't know how long the next cycle is, but they did say it was going to go faster, a hyper accelerated. My eyes almost opened at that. That sounds pretty cool. Anyway, I guess that's really it. Is that all we have? I guess that's it for part 2. So yeah, let's chat about it. What do you think? Post some comments and let's have a conversation. Sounds pretty good to me. I think I'm gonna have to go back and listen to what they said. Get the details and stuff, but it sounds good to me. So anyway, hope y'all have a great week, and I will post in June for the June Q&As if I can get this thing to work. Have a great week, y'all. Much love. Bye.